So this is the quiz review that I promised today in class when we ran out of time. I'm going to go through it carefully, fairly carefully, but it may seem kind of fast, so feel free to pause the video and rewind. All right, so get that out of the way. So we got 15 centigrams per cubic centimeter. We're trying to change to milligrams on top, and then from centimeters cubed to liters on the bottom. So let's do the top first. So we'd put centigrams here, and we could put milligrams up here if you know the relationship, but I don't know it off the top of my head without thinking about it, so I just put what I know. So 1 meter is 100 1 gram is 100 centigrams. Sorry about that. Times. Then we need to move grams to milligrams, so we put it down here and put milligrams there, and we know that 1 gram is 1,000 milligrams. The idea is that the top and the bottom have to equal each other, and you set it up in such a way that you cancel the unwanted units. So we need centigrams to cancel, so they have to go here. What you want to cancel goes on the opposite, whether it's up or down. So like this was on top, you put it down here to cancel. Now we're ready to deal with cubic centimeters. We need to get it changed to liters. So we could put cubic centimeters on top, because that's opposite. And we could change straight to milliliters like this. One of these is one of those. We know that's true because of the day that I took the 1 liter volumetric flask and poured all the water into that little box. Okay. Now, cubic centimeters cancel. So we have milligrams on top, and we have milliliters on the bottom, but we don't want milliliters on the bottom, so we put milliliters on top to cancel it and put liters on the bottom. This relationship is on our things list. 1 of these is 1,000 of those. Now you're ready to do the math. You would have 15 and that would be multiplied by 1,000 and then multiplied by 1,000 again. So times 1,000 multiplied by 1,000. Now you divide by all of the numbers that are on the bottom. In this case, there's just a 100 down there, so we're going to divide by 100, and we get 150,000. And the unit on that would be, milliliters gone, so you have milligrams on top left that haven't canceled, and liters on the bottom. Milligrams over liters, that's what we want. Now the problem with this is that 150,000 has 2 sig figs in it because there's no decimal. But this number had 3, so we need to write this with 3 sig figs. We can't just put a decimal after the 150 and call it good, because that would be like saying $150,000 is the same thing as $150. That wouldn't make sense. So what we do is we put in scientific notation. So we'd have 1.50 times 10 to the, you count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1.50 times 10 to the 5th milligrams per liter would be our answer. Next question, you've got 25 micrograms, and micrograms are a unit of mass. We're trying to get to centiliters, which is a unit of volume. So 25 micrograms. Okay, so we're going to put micrograms on the bottom because we know we need to get rid of them. There's nothing to go under micrograms because it doesn't give us anything. Like this one said centigrams per cubic centimeter. This just says micrograms. But since we're trying to get from mass to volume, we're going to use this density. So I need to change micrograms over into grams so I can use the density. So I put a gram there. Then one of those is 1,000,000 of these, and that's on your things list. Now we're ready to get rid of grams, but on the bottom from this relationship, put cubic centimeters on the top. You see density ties together or bridges from mass to volume. So 1 cubic centimeter is 2.7 grams per this information. Now we want to get centiliters, so I'm going to put cubic centimeters here and milliliters here to show you that you can just do a straight change to milliliters. We don't want milliliters in our answer. Do you remember the day I showed you that cubic centimeter and milliliter is the same thing? I mentioned that earlier. Okay, so milliliters here, then we put milliliters on the bottom and liters here, and then liters on the bottom and centiliters there. Putting our numbers in, 1 is 1,000. And 1 is 100 of those. Now we're ready to do the math. So we'd have 25 times 100, it looks like is the only other number on top, whoops, 25 times 100. Okay, so that's our numerator, the top of the fraction. And now we're going to divide by everything that's on the bottom. There's a lot on the bottom, so we're going to divide by 1. Notice that when I punch in the times 10 to the 6th, I do not use times 10. You use the EXP or the EE key. So EE6. Then we're going to divide again by 2.7. Then we're going to divide again by 1,000. So our number becomes 9.259259259 times 10 to the negative 7th. Well, that's too many significant figures. So what we have to do is round off to 2, so you just call it 9.3 times 10 to the negative 7th. And the unit, you don't want to leave your units off, that would be centiliters. Brings us to the last question. So we have 25 centimeters per day. We want to get to nanometers per week. That's going to be a big number, I think. So we're going to put centimeters here, nanometers there. Now we know, oh, we can't, I don't know what that relationship is, do you? So let's just do this. So do meters, and we'll say 1 meter is 100 centimeters, because we know that. It's on our things list. Now we need to get rid of meters and make it nanometers, and that's on our things list. It's a billion. Now we want to get rid of days and turn them into weeks. Days go on top, and I know the relationship between days and weeks. 1 is 7. So then we just do the math. 25 times a billion. 1. Remember how about the EE key? Let me start that again. So you're going to do, I'd like to get it so you can see my, there we go. So we have 25 times a billion. 1, remember the EE key, EE9, times 7 equals, I'm going to divide that by 100. So that's a kind of a big number, 175, and then we have, excuse me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's a little yawn there. Getting too old for this. So 175, shoot, didn't write that down. Let's count those again. How many were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 zeros. So 175 and then 7 zeros. 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we put that in scientific notation, that's going to be 1 point. Now we're going to have to write, we've got to have only 2 sig figs. So since that 7's followed by a 5, we're going to do that. And then we have 1, 2. So you're starting here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1.8 times 10 to the 9. The unit on that would be nanometers per week. Because days cancel, meters cancel, you have nanometers and weeks left in your answer. All right, so that was a quiz review. Come prepared on Tuesday with questions over this review if you have any.